So guys, let's start the episode finale. So first of all, these guys changed the bones, meaning not in the show but in post-production. In the previous episode, the bones were bigger. In this episode, the bones have become smaller, so I think it was a filming error. As soon as the episode starts, Jade and Tabitha begin filling their bags with the bones. And as they're filling the bones, Boyd is panicking outside. And later Augusta says that we should signal that they need to pull out the tree. So Jade says no, we can't do it that fast. Until we fill all the bones into the bag, we can't do that. Then Tabitha says, but you said these bones would protect us. Then Jade says, I lied. Look, if Boyd didn't know that these bones don't work, he wouldn't have let us come down here. That's why I lied. After that, Jade says, you'll have to go up alone. You don't need to worry. I'll hand you the bones and you go up with the help of the rope, and I'll hold these people here until you get out. My dying here isn't important. What's important is that you get out with your kids. Your kids deserve to get out of here. And after that, there was a particular scene where Jade says he's happy that whatever lifetime he's had, all his past lifetimes were spent with her. I mean, we haven't got any scene related to this, nothing like that has happened in this episode or in the past few episodes that would make us say they're this close. Yes, they have old memories, but anyway, this scene was a bit weird. Obviously, from outside they start pulling the tree and they uproot it. So actually, Donna had said in the previous episode that as soon as we uproot the tree, a window type thing will be created there, a hole will be created, because of which the talismans will stop working. Then as soon as the tree is uprooted, the monsters come inside, as we've already seen in the preview. And as soon as this creature comes in, it says, nice, it's good to see you all again. So most probably in the first cycle, Jade and Tabitha were also there. In the children's sacrifice, Jade and Tabitha were present. But maybe in the end they did something, they had a change of heart later. They decided not to go through with the sacrifice. That's why the creature tells them, it's nice to see you guys again, because the sacrifice happened in this very place. As soon as the tree is uprooted, light starts coming from above and they can't put their feet in the light. So you could say their issue, the creature's problem, is with sunlight, not any light, not day or night. Only and only sunlight affects them. Then Boyd throws the ladder down from above and the ladder breaks and Tabitha falls down. And as all this is happening, all the creatures are watching her, and suddenly it goes dark, and after the darkness the light goes away from there and an earthquake starts. And as the earthquake tremors increase, Victor starts panicking there. Kenny comes and pulls him out because Kenny is right there. But he tells Kenny, I told you not to remove the tree, you guys up there didn't listen to me. And we see that inside the cave too, because of the earthquake, the monsters sit down as if they're scared too. They also don't know why this is happening. Because of the earthquake, a small crack forms in the caves, and through this crack the two of them run away. They try to escape from there, but the creatures behind them also start coming. After that we see Boyd trying to call out to them. They try to get a reply but get no reply at all when the monsters start surrounding them. And Christy says, look, if we don't get out of here, everyone present here will die. And eventually Boyd decides he'll leave from there. And as I said right at the start, we should have let Patty die. She becomes a huge burden here. She's not ready to move at all. Boyd literally has to drag her everywhere. He even has to drag her into the car. Then we go back to Jade and Tabitha. Jade and Tabitha run and reach a dead end. We've actually already seen this scene in Season 1. In Season 1, a golem-like creature existed in this spot. Don't know where it went. Then we see the creature is about to reach them again, but then another earthquake tremor comes and the opening closes and Jade and Tabitha get trapped there too. Then we go to that car scene which I already showed you yesterday, where Patty pulls Boyd's gun and is about to shoot herself in the head. But the bullet misses and hits the glass instead. So I'd say they should have just opened the door and pushed Patty out, but these people won't do that. Then we see Meryl and Fatima. They're at the clinic, and as soon as Meryl checks, she sees that the talisman had fallen down. So obviously it fell because of the earthquake tremors, and Smiley reaches there. So these people somehow go into another room with the talisman. But before they can put up the talisman, Smiley enters the room. And after Smiley enters the house, he calls out to Fatima as mother. For some reason I found this scene very funny, how he called Fatima mother. And then Fatima tries to control herself, but she also starts screaming, even though the creatures don't normally scream. Meanwhile, Smiley kills Meryl, blows up her stomach. And as Smiley watches Fatima screaming, he says, interesting. So maybe something is changing in Fatima too. Maybe when these creatures were made they didn't have as much consciousness left as Fatima still has. So maybe next season she'll be our protagonist. Then Christy and the rest of the people reach there in their car. And then Christy finally sees that Meryl has been killed and she's about to die. She almost loses her life. So she tells Fatima to go get her bag from the car, and while she goes to get the bag, Meryl dies. I'd say Meryl never had much of a plot point, she was just brought in to be killed since she didn't do much else. Then Sophia tells Elgin that she's offering him a deal, he can get out of here alone, he doesn't need to worry at all, it'll feel like he had a very bad dream and he'll be able to live a normal life. He just has to make the deal with her. But Elgin isn't ready to make the deal and he tries to run away. But Clara comes in between and stops him. And eventually Sophia uses her power and kills him, blood starts coming from his eyes, ears, mouth, everywhere. Well, at least this guy is foolish, but at least he didn't take anyone's life, he didn't create any extra problem. As soon as Elgin dies, morning suddenly arrives, meaning those black clouds suddenly disappear. And looking at that, it doesn't seem like Sophia did this herself. So maybe these powers aren't even in Sophia's control, maybe there's someone who can control all of this. We see Henry. Donna comes to check on him and he asks her how this can be real. It was daytime, then suddenly it got dark, then it became day again. This can't be possible. After that, he finds some bullets. Donna says that Victor used to keep a small pistol in his lunch box, so these are his bullets. Then Henry later asks where the pistol is. Donna says the pistol is at the sheriff's station. Then we see lightning coming straight out of the grave and striking the sky directly, and lightning starts happening in the sky. So maybe this is something related to the grave. Maybe the powers from our side, the human side, are affecting things here. Then we see the second van also reaches Colony House. Jade and Tabitha aren't in it, so Ethan and Julie start panicking because they think their mom is gone. Meanwhile, Sophia is going everywhere collecting all the talismans. Henry arrives at the sheriff's station and finds the gun. He picks it up, puts it in his pocket, and asks Kenny where Victor is. Kenny says he let Victor go from there because obviously there was a lot of lightning happening nearby a little while ago. Later we see Ethan, Julie, and Donna at Ethan's house, and suddenly their kitchen starts doing its magic again. But Donna says, "Let's get out of here." After that, Ethan tells Julie that he thinks he's going to end up living here alone because Victor was also left here alone. But Julie says no, that won't happen. She won't let him go. He won't stay here alone. And most probably Ethan's panic is what will force Julie to try story walking one more time, and this time she'll succeed at story walking, and she'll arrive at the exact point where Jim died. And most probably the next season's start will most likely be around Julie's story walking. After that, we see Augusta arrive at the sheriff's station to tell Boyd that the bones are still down there. So she's actually not talking about Jade and Tabitha. She's saying that if we want to take the bones out, we'll have to go down to get them. But Boyd says, even if we get the bones out, then what will we do? The two people who knew what to do with the bones are still down there. Just then the device that Sarah made through which they could communicate, that device starts getting a signal. So Jade is actually sending a signal on it, but then we see Jade's machine's battery runs out, and the machine stops working. Then we see Randall taking Meryl's body and leaving from there. And then Boyd tells Alice and Fatima that he's going down into the cave alone. But the two of them refuse him. They say he can't go alone. Assume if both of them get injured, how will he carry both of them out alone? And after that the two of them say they'll go along too. Fatima says she can actually feel them, she can tell who is where, meaning she can now feel not just Smiley but all the monsters. After that we see Victor going to talk to Henry, and he tells Henry, "Maybe I shouldn't have told you about the man in yellow. Ever since I told you, things have only got worse." Just then he pulls out the gun and points it at Victor and tells Victor, "Maybe this is just a dream, so if I shoot you maybe we'll all be able to get out of here." So he's about to shoot Victor when Ethan arrives there, and Henry points the gun at Ethan instead. Then Victor gets angry and knocks the gun out of his hand, grabs his collar and says, "You told me you'd come here and save me, that you'd help me, and instead you created an even bigger problem for me." So this is actually the first time Victor has been this worked up. This scene also shows just how amazing an actor Victor's actor is. Even in his anger, his scenes are really good. And finally, Sophia and Clara together have collected all the talismans. Not a single talisman is left. And the funniest part is, no one even saw them doing this. I mean, there are so many people in the town and no one saw Sophia going house to house stealing the talismans. Then Jade and Tabitha decide that if they can't get out through the door, they'll go through underneath, so they'll use the bones to dig because the children's bones are a bit sharp-edged, so they can be used for digging. And when Tabitha looks at one of the bones, she realizes that this is her daughter's bone, hers and Jade's daughter, and she had actually been playing with that child. Then Fatima taps into the creature's memories and finds out where Jade and Tabitha are. They reach Jade and Tabitha, and then later Boyd shoots and blows up the wooden barriers that had been built, and all the creatures present their reach them. And then Fatima realizes that she can't get out of here, so she says, "You guys get out of here." And later Fatima tells Alice, "Remember me as a human." So most probably Fatima is turning into a creature here, and she'll become completely like those creatures. I don't know if she'll retain her own memories, retain her consciousness or not, but she completely turns into that creature. And after that she doesn't attack them, you could say she's able to communicate with them, she's able to stop them. And finally we see Bone White and Sophia. Sophia says the boat tree is gone. But Bone White says, "But they've got the bones now too." And after this Bone White says, "This time you're going to lose." So Sophia says, "Well, time will tell," and with that, season 4 ends. So guys, the episode was decent. Everything had already been revealed in the leaks. I give this episode a rating of about 8 out of 10. But this season was very disappointing because I wanted at least the season 1 questions to be answered. At least tell us how this realm was created, why people here were chosen, and why people end up here. Even if the mystery of how to get out gets solved next season, but what is this place? We should have gotten an answer to that this season. So subscribe to the channel. Tomorrow, the breakdown of House of the Dragon episode 2 will be up.
Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.